Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take all that information swirling around, statements, reports, all of it, and really boil it down for you.
Get to the core of it. And today, we're looking at someone truly iconic, Dolly Parton.
That's right.
And our focus really is on her recent health stuff, and maybe more importantly, why she decided to push back that big Las Vegas residency.
A really big pushback.
We want to sort of separate what we actually know about her health from, all the speculation about her career, see what this big schedule change tells us.
And it is a big change. I mean, Dolly Parton, she turned 79 in 2025, right?
Yep, 79.
And she moved her Dolly live in Las Vegas show at Caesar's Palace. Well, it jumped almost a whole year from December 2025.
All the way to September 2026.
Wow. Yeah, that's not just a little delay. It's like a major reset on her schedule.
Exactly. And, that kind of pause, especially for someone like Dolly, it makes you ask questions. Looking at the sources, the initial problem, the thing that started it all, it was actually pretty specific.
Okay, what was it?
A kidney stone. A really painful one, apparently.
Oof. Yeah, I've heard those are just awful.
Awful. And it didn't stop there. It turned into an infection pretty quickly.
Okay, so a kidney stone and an infection.
Right. And the medical advice was, immediate. Basically, stop everything. Mandatory rest. No travel. No high-stress gigs.
So, okay, sounds serious, but, treatable. People get through kidney stones, infections.
They do, and that's kind of the interesting puzzle piece here, isn't it? It is treatable, but the way it hit her, the severity, it forced this immediate shutdown. The sources suggest it was bad enough, the infection and the pain, that she needed intense care right away.
But still, a whole year. Why does that kind of acute treatable thing lead to pushing Vegas back by nearly 12 months? Is it just extreme caution?
Well, that's where we need to look a bit wider, beyond just the kidney stone itself. It's about the context. Her doctors weren't just thinking about the kidney healing.
They were looking at the bigger picture.
Exactly. Her overall energy, her ability to bounce back, and clearly they felt those reserves were low.
Which brings us to something maybe uncomfortable to talk about, but necessary. Her age. She's 79.
Right. And Dolly seems timeless. She really does. But biology is biology.
You can't ignore it.
You can't. And the sources are pretty clear. Recovering from any major health event, whether it's an infection like this or these procedures she mentioned.
We'll get to those.
Yeah, it just takes longer at 79. It's more complex. Your body doesn't repair itself quite as fast. You're more prone to complications, maybe.
So that balance between pushing yourself and resting deeply becomes absolutely vital.
Critical, especially for maintaining her health long term.
And there's another layer here, isn't there? A really profound emotional layer that came before the kidney stone.
Yes. We have to talk about Carl Dean, her husband. He passed away earlier in 2025.
After decades together.
Decades. And grief. Well, it's not just emotional, it's intensely physical.
Right. It affects your whole system.
Absolutely. Major loss like that. It sends your stress hormones, like cortisol, way up. It can cause inflammation. And maybe most importantly, it really impacts your immune system. Makes it harder to fight things off.
So when this kidney stone and infection hit, she wasn't starting from a place of full strength.
Not at all. She was already dealing with the huge emotional drain of grief. Her body was likely already, under significant stress, less equipped to handle a serious physical fight.
Okay, so you've got the physical recovery needed, plus the ongoing emotional recovery.
Put those together, and the need for a much longer, much more careful recovery period makes perfect sense. It explains why the doctors would insist on such a significant break.
Which leads us right back to the biggest practical outcome, pushing that Dolly. Live in Las Vegas residency. And Vegas, it's not just any gig. Caesar's Palace, that's demanding.
Oh, incredibly demanding. You really have to understand what a top-tier Vegas residency involves to see why delaying was probably smart.
It's not just singing a few songs.
Not at all. You're talking maybe 5, sometimes 8 shows a week. Back-to-back nights often. High-energy performance, singing, movement, costume changes, constantly engaging the audience.
It's a total marathon, physically and vocally.
Absolutely. And the audience expectation, especially for Dolly, at that venue is sky high. She has to be, as she said, at her best.
She owes that to her fans and probably to herself.
Exactly. So moving the dates from December 25 to September 26, you can see it as a commitment to quality. She said herself she needs to have a few procedures done, and she only wants to come back when she knows she can deliver that top-level Dolly performance. Better to wait than give a show that's not up to her standard, or worse, risk her health doing it.
Okay, but let's dig into that phrase. A few procedures. That's where things get fuzzy, right? The sources are vague.
Very vague. And honestly, that's all we know. She hasn't specified what they are. It's her private medical information, of course. Okay. So are they minor follow-ups from the kidney stone? Are they routine checks, diagnostic things? Something else entirely. We just don't have that detail. The sources confirm procedures are needed, but not what kind.
And that lack of info kind of creates this tension, doesn't it? Because on one hand, you have Dolly being Dolly, making jokes.
Yeah, the 100,000-mile checkup line. Classic Dolly humor. Trying to keep it light.
Right, suggesting it's maybe not that serious. But then you also had her sister, Freida Parton,
asking fans for prayers, saying Dolly hasn't been feeling her best.
which sounds much more serious.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile those two things, the lighthearted joke and the plea for prayers?
Well, I think you have to see them both as part of the picture. Dolly's humor. That's likely strategic. It manages public perception, stops fans from panicking, keeps control of the narrative.
Standard celebrity PR, maybe?
To some extent, yes. But the sister's request, that often feels more, well, authentic. It usually reflects genuine family concern about someone's health.
So the official message is everything's okay, just need a tune-up. But the private reality might be more like, this requires real recovery and support.
That seems like the most reasonable interpretation, yeah. The combination, the jokes, the prayers, the unspecified procedures, the long delay, it points to something that needs significant rest and recovery. Maybe minor surgery, maybe intensive rehab, but probably not, immediately life-threatening. She's managing how it looks publicly while doing the hard work of healing privately.
Okay, let's shift perspective a bit. What does this long break tell us about how she's managing her career now? Dolly's famous for working nonstop. This kind of gap feels different for her.
It does, but I actually see it as a sign of real professional responsibility. Think about it. She's nearing 80. Prioritizing her health is the strategy for longevity now.
It's not giving up, it's planning ahead.
Exactly. This isn't necessarily a sign of decline. It's a smart, strategic choice to ensure that when she does perform, whether it's Vegas or something else, she can still deliver that excellence she's known for. It's about making sure she can work for another decade, not just scrambling for the next year.
And the big R word, retirement. That's what fans worry about.
She's been really forceful about that. The sources are clear. She says absolutely not retiring.
Okay.
She feels guided is the word she used, I think. Guided to slow down for a bit, but not to stop. That's crucial context. This pause is about preparing for more, not ending things.
Is she completely off the grid during this recovery period?
Apparently not entirely. The reports mention she's still working from home on smaller projects, things that aren't as physically demanding.
So creatively, she's still engaged.
Seems like it. Her mind's still going. The creative energy's there. She's just being very careful about her physical energy, reprioritizing.
What about those other projects then? We know she has a book coming out, Star of the Show, My Life on Stage, and there was talk of a Broadway musical.
Right. And that's kind of the last piece of the puzzle that's still a bit unclear.
How so?
Well, the residency, the most physically demanding thing, is definitely delayed. But these other projects, will her health situation affect their timelines? Or maybe more importantly, the promotion for them?
Ah, yeah, book tours, media appearances.
Exactly. Those require travel, public events, the kind of things her doctors initially put a stop to. So we'll have to sort of wait and see how those roll out. That might give us a better sense of her recovery pace.
Okay, so wrapping this up for you, the listener, what the deep dive really shows is that when an icon like Dolly Parton hits pause, it's usually not just one simple thing.
No, it's complex. It's layers. You've got the acute illness, sure, but then piled on top is the systemic stress, the emotional weight. And it's all being managed with this intense professional focus on coming back strong.
Right.
And I think the main takeaway here is that commitment to quality, the length of this delay, that year-long gap for Vegas, that tells you how seriously she and her team are taking the need for real, deep healing.
She'd rather wait and be 100%.
Precisely. She knows her fans deserve Dolly at her best. So keep an eye out, maybe some low-key appearances later, perhaps for the book. That would be a good sign she's on track for that September 2026 comeback.
So here's something to think about. considering everything she's been through this past year, the loss, the health scare, the pressure, how does Dolly's choice to take this long pause, picking health and quality over a quick return, how does that maybe change how we think about resilience and professional standards in entertainment today, especially for icons working later in life?
It really does set a standard, doesn't it? Honesty and self-care at the top.
Something for you to mull over. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.